The two most powerful techniques in negotiations. Every phrase in negotiations should hit the chin with the force of Mike Tyson. And tell me, wouldn't you want that? To negotiate over the phone like the Wolf of Wall Street, closing 7 out of 10 deals. But what does it take to achieve that? How to become Jordan Belfort in sales? To start, it would be good to learn at least a few techniques that are the foundation of truly strong negotiations. And this is not about phrases or powerful confidence. Today I will talk about the two most powerful and simple techniques in negotiations, which you may have heard of and known, but we will delve a little deeper. The first method is attention. Silence. Yes, you knew it, but sometimes you talk more than you listen. There is a saying that speech is silver, but silence is golden. But here's the question. We don't always know when to stay silent and when not to, because sometimes we feel strange when we are silent. But a pause, it provokes a person to talk, and the person provides you with information that is important to you. During silence, a person comes to some necessary thought. This is because the so-called psychology of silence is that people want to fill the pause, and someone will be the first to start speaking. And here you need to have psychological resilience to, so to speak, out-silence the client, but not make it look strange. For example, if someone is yelling at you, pressuring you, or waiting, you can simply remain silent and say nothing. And that person says nothing, and you say nothing. He is silent, and you are silent. Every second of silence feels like a minute, but you stay silent, and the person says something. But if you can't stay silent, the second way is to ask questions. That is, if you feel that silence is not quite right. But if you don't have a structure for the conversation, you don't know at what step you are in the conversation. And if you use your intuition, just know that every phrase you say is a question, but an interesting one. Whoever asks an interesting question controls the conversation. This is the golden rule of sales and negotiations. In other words, the person who does not ask questions, who talks, argues, explains, and does not ask questions, is not leading or controlling the conversation. So, there is such a scene in one of the Hollywood movies. During the conversation, the boss says, "Yes, I am the one asking the questions here." That is, he shows, "Here, I ask, I am the leader." But here is another question, because this position can be authoritarian. Of course, there are also tough negotiations where they pressure and push, but this video is not about that. Often we watch some movies, we want to replicate those tough negotiations like The Wolf of Wall Street closes, but in real life, it doesn't always work. Therefore, where and which negotiation strategies to use, we will consider in other videos. If you are a beginner in negotiations, it is not very good to speak only according to the script sometimes. Because sometimes a script is static by its nature and, by its meaning, cannot account for situations that may arise. The script is static and cannot predict objections, even if the script includes a response to objections, or if it's a negotiation. What to say if the client disagrees? These phrases in the script do not take into account the situation, do not consider the information that arises during the negotiations. For example, you start identifying a need or discovering a person's motivation. You begin to ask questions and you learn something you didn't expect, and that's it. The script doesn't work. That is, the script must be dynamic. It must take into account different situations. But this is almost impossible. Therefore, the script is often used when one does not know how to learn. That is, sometimes managers and leaders think that now we will write scripts, work them out, write them almost on 10 pages, but it is difficult to learn them. In any case, the issue of call analysis and training will arise. But it is better to write a script than not to write one. I have been involved in sales and negotiations for 19 years. And for you to get a part of my experience, just write me the word test. Message me on Instagram or Telegram. Contacts are in the description under the video.